The Nintendo Switch announced, and it was glorious. Nothing could go wrong.
Then, it will become a paid service, beginning in the fall of 2017.
Bet you're asking yourself a well-deserved question. Did something change? Yes, I'm employed. I got a job at an old game store, but I know nothing about old games, and there's only one way to learn about them. This! Lo and behold, the Nintendo Switch online system that allowed you to play with friends was set to release fall of 2017, and then delayed to 2018. It was delayed so it could be world class, but we chat online with friends on a phone. For a good part of 2018, we were left in the dark until on September 13th, online was given the well-deserved details to a collective Now that we're on the topic of online, let's talk about cloud saves. Whoa, that was a crazy 35 minutes of joining anxiety. Now what better way to calm down by playing mediocrity? And what better way to play mediocrity than the NES online subscription? The NES game library was released the same time as the release of Nintendo's idea of capitalism. After dropping $20 on this game, you then get access to the NES games you probably have already played. So we ask a question. Is it worth it? As Nintendo adds more games to the NES, it gets more plentiful, but I'm just looking at the first 20, and note these are just first impressions. This one, the big one, Super Mario Bros. I'd be lying if I said this was a first impression. This game is known everywhere. It isn't super totally new, just fun to play. It's Mario and nothing is new compared to the original one. But, do you want to trade in your soul so you don't have to play 8-1? Well, you're in luck. We got save states. These allow you to pause the game and save it and pull up the save each time. I feel like a sinner every time I use it. Another Mario. I played this one on my DS, so again, it isn't first impressions. And this one felt like growing pains. That doesn't mean it's bad per se, it has charm and is super fun. Really, you have a character that could be in Ripley's Believe It or Not, it is guaranteed to do some weird things. Snakes, magic wands, speeding up with that meter. Great things, but you should probably check for tetanus after using these. It really was unique with the whole stage play, but it's a platformer, not a location of Lincoln's assassination. Now, it did do loads of things, but I'm looking at it from a post-Mario DS, and it was Mario, alright. Football, or for you American Revolution losers, you call it... Well, I heard the Dallas Cowboys have been doing the best, so I'll go with them, and looks like we're going against Los Angeles. Wonder what's going to happen, like maybe a coin toss, maybe a song, and they kicked it. Yep, this starts you right off the bat. Then it gives you some options for plays, and I have no idea what they do. Wow, it's hard to get a touchdown, but I bet I could block them, and that's a point. But that is where coaching comes in. You just tell the players what to do, and it's a more enjoyable time, especially going against a friend. Nothing yells video game more than tennis, an outdoor sport. This one is a golden gem because it is a phenomenal multiplayer game. It was always a disappointment to see two players on a game to realize you had to wait for your friend to die to play. Now this one is multiplayer as you work with a friend to hit the ball back or beat up the ref when he calls an out. There is a great difficulty curve for more or lesser skilled players, it's just stupid fun. Now, The Legend of Zelda isn't a well-known one, so you might know it for this. Yep, that one. This one is just a good time to play. Now, this game is very story and secret-based, so it's hard without the manuals. Always felt like I was going to the wrong place or fighting the wrong enemies I was too weak for. But it was just fun trying to learn what I could do. Did I beat it? No, it felt too open. So random that I felt lost. After beating it, I might go through again with a manual for all the secrets, because some of these things are crazy secret. This is our puzzle game of the bunch. Enemies and eggs fall down and you want to match them. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. After the first level, it was the same thing over and over. Hey, they said I did a very good job. Doing better than this game, it seems. What kind of name is this? Of all the words it could add G to, they chose this one? From the time I spent on this, I found that I cannot get past this mountain, and from what I've played and read, it seems this is a high score chasing game, which just isn't my thing. It isn't just high score chasing, power-ups and different enemies make it more fleshed out, but I need to go through the beginning so many times and start over. It's cool how Ice Climbers went from this to this. It starts off with some condor stealing an eggplant, which leads to the Ice Climbers risking their lives for an eggplant, like they didn't have a Walmart nearby. You break the blocks above you with your hammer and jump onto the platform. Jumping is the hard part. Like, look at this. I look like some helpless toddler trying to make this jump. Now, this game has a good amount of fun in it, but whenever this Yeti gets near, the controls clunk out, killing me. Ice hockey is another one of those, "Mom, I'm already playing a sport" kind of game. Another sports game in the bunch. You can get some notable teams like USA, Sweden, Poland, Canada, and fan favorite, Czechoslovakia. And URS? You can tell this game is a bit older, as you know.
USSR is dead.
You can make your dream team, so what better team than a bunch of fat guys? Now for our match, we're up against Canada, and I bet they're too nice to start a fight. Now this game is different from the others, like name a game about terrorizing turtles. This one didn't yell fun to me, it was just flipping turtles, killing them, and collecting coins sometimes. I wanted to have fun with this one, but the jumping felt so off. Feels like I'm controlling Mario with a Snickers bar. Now after killing the entire turtle population, we can relax by wrestling everyone. Now this game makes no sense, now I have made a strategy. I want to learn the button inputs, but the manual being a PDF really turned me off. I did win though, but I was playing against a stuffed bear.
He still threw me out of the ring.
I wasn't a whole fighting game kind of guy but this one is nice. I just beat up these guys. After beating up a bunch of people, you get into the no fighting zone, where you can buy books, coffee, and check out the ladies. Now after I spent my life savings on honey buns, I went to some guy's turf and threw rocks. I enjoyed my time on this one, just stupid fun. It isn't too much stress, the graphics just look fun. I'll probably come back to this one later on. There is this trend of sports games because why play soccer when you can play soccer? This one is like ice hockey, but it feels off. When I bring the ball with me, it starts to stutter like no one on this team has practiced before. After you score a goal, the players go completely ape wild. Rather play real soccer. This one is another high score based game, and if you remember from Gradius, you know I don't like those. But call me a hypocrite, I adore this game. It isn't just getting a high score, it's getting far into the game, and the controls just feel like a warm knife lodging itself in a stick of butter. Now, if killing the turtle population and the birds that fly with balloons population is too much, you can settle down with Balloon Trip. Now, it could be considered a trip if you think dying at a moment's notice is a trip, but Webster thinks you're wrong. Jaron, your house burned down.
Okay.
Jaron, you have to talk about another sports game.
Yikes!
Sports games just get boring. Tennis was a good one, as it was just one person and one person playing. Baseball has a ton of aspects in it with different characters, and I'm not a fan. It's baseball, but you have to control everyone with one controller. I don't like those kind of games. In this game, Donkey Kong gets the hots for Pauline, this princess, and decides the most chivalrous thing to do to get the lady is to go completely kidnappy. This one feels like an arcade game, alright. At this point in time, games made you play the whole thing in one session. Like, come on, give us a code. This one has a similar playstyle to River City Ransom, but I enjoyed River City Ransom better. This one looks more nitty-gritty, and with a history of not liking fighting games, I'm not the biggest fan. Dr. Mario has always been a game I've looked at, but I haven't ever gotten into playing. In this game, you're trying to match 4 or more in a row of a certain color to defeat viruses. It's pretty fun, and it's a good puzzle game. This one's pretty good as my foot's been thumping for a racer. This one was just great and really unique. For most racers, learning drifting is key, but this one just isn't that. You can't even drift. It was angling your bike and launching with speed that gets you to go faster. There are 2 groups of 5 tracks, so 10 in total, so it isn't super beefy, but then it's just about mastering the tracks and going faster. Making your own track didn't even need to be added, but they added it. Now, it's not the easiest, and it's not totally user-friendly, as you use the alphabet for the pieces you want, but It's just fun to kind of place pieces around and make your own track. I don't get this one. It has that good old, oh no, princess captured story, and well, that's it. You have this spear looking thing you throw at a wide variety of monsters. This one was just much harder than I thought. For the amount of not enjoying it because it's way too challenging and confusing, I always found myself coming back to it. The NES collection of games is a superior way to play games. Instead of entering a nuclear launch code, you can just use a save state. Yes, you do lower the odds of being hired after doing it, but it makes it so much easier to play these games. Also, it's all in one game, so no load time to pull up separately. Now, the $60 NES controllers are jokes, but I would really like to see Nintendo release a coffee table book filled with all these manuals of the games in high quality. It'd be a fun look through and to read. And that's the 20 games. An impressive lineup for the 20 bucks you're paying. What better way to end this than talking about the Nintendo Switch online phone app? I'm a monster.